Hello, thanks for joining me. I want to talk to you about how to protect yourself from fairies. Yeah, that's right, you might need protection. Fairies may look sweet and innocent, but believe me, sometimes they do only look that way. We know that the supernatural fae realm, Elfame, is made up of many smaller kingdoms. The fairy kingdoms are each ruled by a queen. Some of these kingdoms are dangerous and evil, intent on luring unprotected people to their doom. Let's see what you can do to protect yourself from a malignant fairy. To begin with, you can protect yourself by means of charms or amulets made from iron or rowan trees. That's iron or rowan wood. Fire will also consume them. Most importantly, kill the queen fairy and the power she has over her kingdom will crumble. With her dead, the other fairies will flee and leave you alone. Now, I've got an example of an amulet here. You see, it doesn't need to be anything fancy or ornate. And this is a rowan wood stake. You can stab it like a spear or throw it like a javelin. Either way, it will do the job. I made this myself in a few minutes. That's what you can do if you come under the influence of a fairy, but it's far better to avoid them altogether. So what signs can you look out for to see if we are near a fairy kingdom? Well, one of the signs is the presence of will-o'-the-wisps. They're also called jack-o'-lanterns or hobby-lanterns. These are ghostly, ethereal lights that you'll see on the ground, flickering like little flames, sometimes in a variety of hues and colours. In mythology, these ghost lights are often depicted as leading unwary travellers off of their path, either mischievously, simply leaving them miles from home in the middle of nowhere, or rather more sinisterly, leading them off to their doom, maybe off a cliff or in the dark waters of a deep pool. Scientists explain the phenomenon of will-o'-the-wisps as being the result of the oxidation of phosphine, diphosphane, and methane. These compounds are the results of organic decay. Phosphine and diphosphane can spontaneously ignite in the air, and this, in turn, ignites the methane, leading to these ghostly lights. That may be, but science cannot explain everything. Now, while some of these fiery phenomena might be the result of the burning of natural gases in the ground, not all are. Fairies will create and use them to steer you in the way they want you to go, at night perhaps. A kind fairy might lead a lost stranger to safety, while a fairy who is bent on mischief might use them to lure you to your doom. Another sign of the presence of fairies is the presence of fairy rings. These are rings of fungi on the ground. They can vary in size from a few feet to hundreds of feet in diameter and last for hundreds of years. As with will-o'-the-wisps, sometimes they are purely natural phenomena. Basically, some fungi start to grow and expand outwards once the nutrients in the middle are all used up. The center dies and the living ring gradually expands. However, sometimes these fairy rings are created by fairies. Mythology abounds with stories of people being pulled down to Elfame if they are foolish enough to step into a fairy ring of their own free will. These fairy rings are therefore gateways or portals to the fairy kingdom ruling where you are. So beware of fairy rings and will-o'-the-wisps. But if you do happen to come across the presence of fairies, make sure that you've got your rowan wood amulet with you and your stake. Anyway, thanks for watching, goodbye and take care.